baby. What up, Twitch? Another good one today. Just waiting for people to roll up on in here. Twitch and IG. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Monday. And all of that good stuff. Hey, Nick, beautiful. How are you? We got another good one today, Nick. You my first contestant, though, so we're waiting for some more folks to hop on here. Hey, babe. I'm going to put this on mute. There we go. Hey, babe. Thank you, boo. I appreciate you, Nick. Little switch up for the summer. Ain't no telling what it's going to be in a couple weeks. We're going to get into it. Boyfriend and Unique are my first contestants. I want to give these folks a few more seconds. I'm going to give them 30 more seconds to roll in, and then we're going to talk about Paul Pierce and what he had to say about marriage being for poor and old people. Everybody is a relationship expert nowadays. Not me, Didi Park. I don't want to be nobody's relationship expert because I don't have all the answers. Hey, Janice, girl. Janice, you got a birthday coming up, don't you? I know. I thought you were a Taurus. I know I'm not wrong. I know your birthday's coming up. Hey, Chev. All right, let's do this. All right. NBA legend Paul Pierce says marriage is for poor and old people. He said marriage offers no advantage for men. I want you to take a listen to what he had to say, and then we'll get into it further.
Marriage is.
Here we go.
And who's marriage for? Marriage is for old people and poor people.
Okay, so let's get into that. Why?
Because when you broke, our parents, like my moms and all them, they married on a merit of like, okay, we're gonna put our incomes together, have all these kids, and then when our kids, we're gonna have 5, 10 kids back in the 60s, all them, they're gonna have 5, 10 kids so they can work and bring income.
Yeah.
So you poor. So you married for that.
All right, so then there's a part 2.
So you married
there you go.
for that. And now when you get old, somebody that can be by your side to take care of you. Right now, my mom got married. My mom never been married in my lifetime. She got married when she was 70.
Hey, Soul Man.
Wow.
It was perfect. She had somebody by her side the whole way through.
So do you...
I really believe that. Like, that's what, like, outside of that, it's no advantage to a man. Why is marriage an advantage? What advantage, what does it do for a man when things go south? Like, we gonna have to give up half our this, pay child support, but what do the...
Okay, babe. Thank you. All right, let's talk about it. Neek said his talking points are so dry and washed up, like him. Neek, you hit it. Hey, Ronnie. Hey, McDaniel, like him. Old and washed up. But today we're talking about I don't even want to call him a legend right now because he's pissing me off. But NBA legend Paul Pierce says marriage is for poor and old people. Marriage offers no advantage for men. So let's discuss. Let's talk about it. How we feeling about this? Hold on 1 second and let me do this break real quickly. Hold on. The best R&B 98.7 Kiss, DT Parker, and we are showing love to my teachers and my small businesses. If you are that, please holler at me right now, 205-741-0987 or IG at I am DT Parker, and I'm going to show all of my teachers and all of my small businesses some love today. And Dominique said there's another wink, so we'll get into it. It's 98.7 Kiss. Hold on, y'all, because I'm not trying to get flagged on YouTube. Anyway, Nick said the fact that he's looking for an advantage or something in his favor based on material things is not actually love and companionship. And championship is crazy work. Companionship, I think, is what you're trying to say, Nick, right? It's crazy work. So let's talk about it. Men, you don't have to be quiet on this subject. If you agree with him, again, this is a judgment-free zone over here. There are no judgments. So, I mean, you can agree with him all day. If this is how you feel, like, marriage is for poor and old people. When I say I've never the things that folks come up with, I've never heard this. Marriage being for poor and old people. Have you guys heard this before? Hey, Incognito, that marriage is for poor and old people. Because I've never. I got you when you what you said, Nick, companionship. I never heard this. And he said marriage offers no advantage for a man. I mean, I've heard that before. I've heard that from plenty of men before. But I'm going to play it back so you guys can hear it. And thank you, Miss Janice Boo. Hold on, I'm trying to play it back. Here we go. I'm going to turn this up.
And who's marriage for? Marriage is for old people and poor people.
Okay, so let's get into that. Why?
Because when you broke, our parents, like my moms and all them, they married on a merit of like, okay, we're gonna put our incomes together, have all these kids, and then when our kids, we're gonna have 5, 10 kids back in the 60s, all them, they're gonna have 5, 10 kids so they can work and bring income.
Yeah.
So you poor. So you married for that.
Again, I've never heard
So
that,
you
but okay.
married for that. And now when you get old, somebody that to be by your side to take care of you. Right now, my mom got married. My mom never been married in my lifetime. She got married when she was 70.
Wow.
It was perfect. She had somebody by her side the whole way through.
So
basically, what I'm
like,
getting from this is you should wait till you're 70 when none of your stuff is working any longer, and you could just, okay, let me settle for you. I mean, that's what I'm getting from it. I don't know what you guys are getting from it. Sheb said marriage has its benefits. I've heard men say marriage offers them no advantage. Those I feel like are the men out here still hoeing. I'm gonna be real. Those are the men I feel like are out here still hoeing, so they're making up excuses on why marriage doesn't offer them anything. But I think when a man is serious about you, then and he sees your potential, then it offers a lot of advantages. Again, my men, you guys are quiet on here. If you agree with what he's saying, this is a judgment-free zone. I'm not here to judge you. You can say how you feel, and let's talk about it. So if I have any new folks, we're talking about Paul Pierce says marriage is for poor and old people. Marriage offers no advantage for a man. Again, I've heard men say this. I think I'm with, was it somebody said it on my IG live? I'm trying to figure out what advantages is he talking about, that it offers no man. I guess maybe a man who has a bunch of money. Maybe it doesn't have an advantage for him. Neek said, I'm going to need him to walk around when you can't. Who's going to make your life decisions? Your wife is and will be there, be the realist in your life. I think what Paul is saying, and I don't really want to speak for him, I think Nick, what he's trying to say is his mama didn't get married till he was 70. So it ain't no rush necessarily to get married and tie the knot. And you don't got to do it right away. You can do it when you get old. But then I'm like, who wants you when you old? And and I don't want to speak for my men because y'all quiet, but I will speak for y'all. I don't want to speak for y'all, but okay, so I'll give you an example. I had a grandfather. Papa was a Rolling Stone, okay? My sperm donor act just like his is. Love my grandfather. Love my pop. But it was what it was. He forever and always, as long as I can remember, cheated on my grandmama. Where was I going with this point? I've been losing my points today. But he was a Rolling Stone, and he would cheat on my grandma consistently. And the point I was getting ready to make was he thought when he got in his 70s that he was going to just, okay, let me go find this person that I can settle down with. And it don't work like that. These little young girls was using him for his money. So he ended up dying alone by himself. Hold on, because I got to break just that quick. Hold on, y'all. I apologize. And I don't want to turn this all the way up because I don't want to get flagged on. So I'm going to put my headphones on. So bear with me for a second. Hold on, y'all, because I got to get to this. Hold on, y'all. Doing a break.
Look, you can't forget it's Nurses Week too, baby.
Oh, no, I cannot forget. Are you a nurse?
No, my wife a nurse.
Go on, show her some
Latoya White, I love you, baby. Happy Nurses Week.
And what's your name?
My name's Dominique.
And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from North Birmingham / Fultondale.
I appreciate you, Dominique. And tell Wifey, happy Nurses Week.
I sure will.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're
All right,
welcome.
you too.
Bye-bye. All right, like I said, we're going to be doing this all week. We're going to be showing our teachers love, our nurses love, and our small businesses love. Make sure you hit me up, 205-741-0987, or on the gram at IamDeeDee Parker. That's IamDeeDee Parker. More on the way. It's 98.7 Kiss.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers.
Sorry, y'all. Hold on. I'm back. All right. If I have any new folks on here, I apologize. We are talking about ex-basketball player Paul Pierce saying marriage is for poor and old people. He said marriage offers no advantage for men. Neek said, I'm going to need him to walk around. Okay, I read that. Paul Pierce is already washed up, so who wants him at 70? He ain't quite 70 yet, but he gonna be there. And I think what he trying to say, my mama didn't get married until she was 70, so I guess he gonna hold on to hope. But the thing about that is, again, going back to my grandfather, like I said, Papa was a Rolling Stone, okay? It is what it is. Love my pop to death, but he was a whore. No disrespect, but he was. And then he got older, and then he thought, oh, he was ready to find love, and these little young girls wasn't trying to hear none of that. They was really just using him for his money. I hate to say it, because that's what they do. He got 70-something and was hoping and praying and wishing that, he would find love, and yeah, now. Hey, Pat. Hey, Nick, I didn't know you were a nurse. Happy National Nurses Week to you, boo. Yay. I had no idea. I knew it was Teacher Appreciation Week, and I knew it was Small Business Week. But yeah, big shout out to all of my nurses out there. And I hope in another 10 years y'all don't, because the way that they're saying this AI. Anyway, we're not talking about that. Chef said, I guess rent it's financial. Hey, Pat. Malcolm said, what Paul been smoking? Exactly. All right. Man, y'all been too quiet on this chat today. Y'all are too quiet on this chat today. How are we feeling about Paul Pierce saying marriage is for poor and old people? Marriage offers no advantages for men. And I wanted you to take a listen to what he had to say. Maybe y'all will start talking once Mama You Just in Time. So we're talking about today, Paul Pierce, ex-basketball player, saying marriage is for poor and old people. Marriage offers no advantage for a man. Hi, MZ World. Hey, music group. Is that FI Music Group? I think that is.
All these kids,
So here we go.
With our kids, we're going to have 5, 10 kids.
So I'm going to roll it back. Because I keep getting new folks on here. So Paul Pierce, ex-basketball player, is saying marriage is for poor and old people. Marriage offers no advantage for men. Let's talk about it.
What marriage is.
My men, I need to hear from y'all.
And who's marriage for?
I got
Marriage is
Mr.
for
Awesome. He
old
commented it.
people and poor people.
What up, Rashad?
Okay, so let's get into that. Why?
Because when you broke our parents, like my moms and all them, they married on a merit of like, okay, we're going to put our incomes together, have all these kids, and then when our kids, we're going to have 5, 10 kids back in the 60s, all them, they're going to have 5, 10 kids so they can work and bring income.
Yeah.
So you poor. So you married for that.
Okay, and there's a second part to this.
So you
Rashad, I don't know why
married
you're
for
not
that.
coming on.
And now when you get old, somebody got to be by your side to take care of you. Right now, my mom got married. My mom never been married in my lifetime. She got married when she was 70.
Wow.
It was perfect. She had somebody by her side the whole way through.
So do you...
I really believe that. Like, that's what, like, outside of that, it's no advantage to a man. Why is marriage advantage? What advantage, what does it do for a man when things go south? Like, we gonna have to give up half our this, pay child support, but what do the...
All right. Well, you heard him. Hold on, Rashad. I'm not understanding why you're not connecting. So I'm inviting you back because I don't know why you didn't connect. There you go. Rashad. Rashad. There you go. Mama said stupid man. Rashad. Okay, you heard what he said?
I did not.
All right. So Paul Pierce says marriage is for poor and old people. Marriage offers no advantage for a man. and then I'll play the audio back again so you
Back.
can hear it.
And now
Let me go back to the part
let me say
one.
what marriage is and who's marriage for. Marriage is for old people and poor people.
Okay, so let's get into that and why.
Because when you broke, our parents, like my moms and all them, they married on a merit of like, okay, we're gonna put our incomes together, have all these kids, and then when our kids, we're gonna have 5, 10 kids back in the 60s, all them, they're gonna have 5, 10 kids so they can work and bring income.
Yeah.
So you poor. So you married for that.
All right, second part to this.
You get old.
Second part.
Somebody that can be by your side to take care of you. Right now, my mom got married. My mom never been married in my lifetime. She got married when she was 70.
Wow.
It was perfect. She had somebody by her side the whole way through.
So do you?
I really believe that. Like that's what. Like outside of that, it's no advantage to a man. Why is marriage advantage? What advantage? What does it do for a man when things go south? Like we gonna have to give up half our this, pay child support, pay. But what do the
All right, Mama said we're doomed. Shaking my damn head.
Well, I mean, so let's be honest. Once again, I said it once, I'll say it a million times. He's talking from a place of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, he hasn't seen a functional relationship work. When he made reference to marriage, what did he say? Gonna give up half, or you're gonna end up giving up child support. That means that he is not planning on staying married.
Yeah.
So he's selfish. It's a selfish mentality for a man or a woman to think about what's in it for them. He has no desire to see our people rise to prominence like we were. The point that he was making about you get married when you're poor, I just saw a stat today or yesterday that said that 86% of America's millionaires are married.
Really?
These are stats. 80%. That means that there are 24% of millionaires out here that are single. I'm sorry, 86. 14%.
That are single.
And the majority of that is wrapped up, I'm sure, in black millionaires, via all of these sports players that are single, that think more about themselves than they think about true legacy.
Right.
And so he's speaking from an ignorant place. And it's, there are a lot of men out there that have that frame of mind. He's hurt, so he's spewing hurt rhetoric. He's not healed. He's not happy. I guarantee you he's not happy. Now, there are a lot of people out there that are not happy, but at the end of the day, they have joy.
Right.
He has no joy. He's not happy. There is nothing out there. If he gets hurt tomorrow and breaks an ankle, there will be nobody there to take care of him that love him. He's going to have to spend all of his money on aides and, nurses and all this other stuff, but nobody out there that would love him enough to wipe his ass.
Yeah. Mama said she agrees with you. And I was talking about my grandfather because he was a Rolling Stone. Okay. He decided when he got older in life is when he thought he wanted to have relationships. But by then it was too late because now he chasing young girls still. And these young girls don't give a shit about him. All they want is the money.
Yep.
And then when the money dried up, guess where they was? Nowhere to be found.
100%.
And then did you hear him too when he was talking about how his mom didn't get married? And this might be a part of why he feels the way he feels, because he talked about how his mom didn't get married until she was in her 70s.
Well, yeah, like once again, all he saw was dysfunction.
Right.
So that's all he knows.
Right.
That's all he knows. And so my issue is that you give a lot of dysfunctional people influence, they're spitting out bad information that other people are going to follow.
Yeah. Pat said,
So
Pat said, I'm with you on that. And Mama said, and when he gets sick, who was there? She talked about my grandfather. Nobody was there when he got sick. So it's like what you said. If he gets sick, he's going to have nobody in place to help him. He's going to have to pay people to be around him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm like, if that's what you want, then cool. You want to pay for your time? Go by all means. Hold on one second, Rashad, and everybody else. Hold on. On the way at the top of the hour, I got your chance to check out Keisha Cole, The Way It Is, in the 20th anniversary tour. Ooh-wee, with Tink and that other guy. It's 98.7 Kiss, the best R&B. I don't like Wale. I met Wale. That's why I didn't say his name. I met Wale, and he was an asshole to me. So I'll never forget. All I asked Wale was for a picture. And this nigga tried to embarrass me in front of everybody. We was at I'm sorry, I don't mean to change the subject. We was at a birthday bash in the ATL, and I was working a birthday bash behind the stage, you know, behind the scenes, backstage. So I asked him for a picture, like, hey, because I loved him at that time. I'm like, yo, you know, what was it, Lotus Flower, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, can I get a picture with you? This man in front of everybody, and mind you, we're backstage. Ah, really? If I did this shit, y'all would be acting. I said, whoa. I don't need no picture. Oh no, you gonna take the picture and grab me up. I said, oh, I will never, ever fuck with you again. So I don't Wale, period. So yeah, that was my Wale story. Bad experience. He was an asshole. So, and that's why his career is weird. And that's why his career is weird. Where are you, Wale? I'm sorry. You know, you got to be nice to folks. You know, folks don't get that. When you reach, anyway, that's another story for another day. Perez said, thumbs down. Mama said, men be waiting until they old to want to love. It's hard to find when you been an asshole your whole life. I just don't, like, I've heard this part, Rashad, of a man saying, what is the advantage of being married? And you're a married man. Tell us what advantages are of being a married man.
Well, so here's the thing. You got to understand one thing. Life is about more than just you. Life is about more than yourself, right? We talk about what are the advantages of marriage because we are still focused on self-interest. I am a selfless individual, and you have to understand that in order to understand the true nature and the true purpose of marriage, you can't be selfish. Because if you go into it trying to figure out what you're gonna get out of it, you've already gone in with the wrong frame of mind. Right. Because a good bulk of marriage is more about sacrifice than what you get out of it. And so my answer is it's a tough answer. It's an answer that people don't want to hear, but it is a necessary answer. What do you get out of marriage? As a man, in your opinion. As a man, in my opinion, oh shit.
Don't hurt yourself now.
No, man, I dropped my laptop. Man, I hope I didn't break this thing.
Yeah, you don't want to do that now.
So, what you get out of it, marriage really helps you grow, right? It helps you to become, damn. Okay,
I thought you hey, Clarence.
All right, so marriage helps you grow. It helps you become a whole person because it helps you to focus on other things outside of yourself, right? We are very selfish-natured, very, very selfish-natured. If we had it our way, we would never be able to evolve because everyone would be doing everything for themselves, right? When you become married, you understand that there are other people around you that are part of your equation. And a part of your success is based upon their success.
Right.
But people don't want to hear that. People want to, hey, it's my money. I want to be able to do what I want to do with it. I want to be able to go where I want to go and all these other things. You ain't going to ever get anywhere with a mentality like that.
Right.
So what marriage does, it helps to strengthen your legacy. Marriage helps you become remembered beyond your death.
Mm.
When you think about the white people, right? You have white people today that are talking about their great grandparents.
Yeah.
How many black people do you know doing that?
Besides me, because I talk about my grandma, but I only knew my grandma because my great grandfather passed away. I only knew my great grandmother, and she was mean. She was mean.
And so the thing about it is, it's not, marriage is not the only way, but it is a way to ensure that you create a legacy that lives beyond you. You have children that are speaking your praises. You know, you have spouse that's speaking your praise, and it goes from there. And so it's a hard question. What do you get out of marriage? Well, number one, if you're a man, we got to be honest. There are things that out there that we don't think about, right? Our health, we don't take care of ourselves as good as we should.
Mm-hmm.
You have a wife, yeah, they nag, but a lot of the stuff that they talk to us about are things that we need to do. With the things that we need to stop eating when we know they're not good for us. They, you know, make sure that we go to the doctor and get checkups and all of these other things. So you will probably live longer
Yeah.
if you are married. And that is something that has been statistically tracked out there, that married men live longer than single men. And so, you know, if you're looking for a reason to get married, well, more than likely you're gonna live longer.
Ding, 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 ding. Reason number one. Who doesn't want to live longer? What up, Super Pat? What up, Baby Brock? Super Pat said, it humbles you. Sheb said it's a partnership. All right, Rashad, because we got some new folks. I don't even want to call him because I used to love the Celtics, but that's because KG was on the team. But basketball player Paul Pierce says marriage is for poor and old people. He said marriage offers no advantage for a man, and I want y'all to take a listen to what his explanation and his reasoning behind this craziness. Now, I've heard this from other men saying marriage offers no advantage, but being for poor and old people, I ain't never heard this one.
Let me tell you what marriage is and who's marriage for. Marriage is for old people and poor people.
Okay, so let's get into that. Why?
Because when you broke, our parents, like my moms and all them, they married on a merit of like, okay, we're gonna put our incomes together, have all these kids, and then when our kids, we're gonna have 5, 10 kids back in the 60s, all them, they're gonna have 5, 10 kids so they can work and bring income.
Yeah.
So you poor. So you married for that.
All right, so this is the second part of the conversation. Here we go.
For that. And now when you get old, somebody got to be by your side to take care of you. Right now, my mom got married. My mom never been married in my lifetime. She got married when she was 70.
Wow.
It was perfect. She had somebody by her side the whole way through.
So do you...
I really believe that. Like, that's what, like, outside of that, it's no advantage to a man. Why is marriage advantage? What advantage? What does it do for a man when things go south? Like, we gonna have to give up half our this, pay child support, but what do the...
So that is his take. I understand a little bit why he feels the way he feels, not trying to make no excuse for him, but he said he didn't see his mom get married till she was in her 70s. So, I mean, that explains a lot. I don't want to say we are products of our environment, but we are kind of products of our environment, somewhat to say. Go ahead.
Some people are unable to see beyond their scope of visibility.
Uh-oh. I know, Hefe, you're going to have a lot to say about this one, Hefe, because he probably is going to be in agreement, but keep going.
So the challenge that a lot of us face is that we don't know how to desire things that we've never seen. And it's just like you said, you're a product of your environment. Well, I was a part of that environment, but instead of falling into those traps, it showed me these are the things that you don't want.
So when you say you were a product of your environment, what does that mean? Like
No,
you
I said I was a part of that environment. I'm not a product of it.
okay, so what
Because
does that mean? Like your
so I grew up in
mom
a single. I said I grew up in a single parent home. I was what they call a latchkey kid. My mom was out, and I was at the house by myself at a young age. I grew up, in environments where there was an amount of affluence, but there was also a lot of the other stuff, right? And I went to a school where there were gang fights,
mm,
and all of this other stuff, and I almost got jumped one time, but luckily it wasn't in the cards, for me. Um, and so I've been in the same environment that other people that are my age from that same environment weren't able to make it out of. They were the products of the environment because they were not able to not fall into the traps.
okay.
I was an individual thinker. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I wouldn't even have sex in high school.
What?
I was a virgin until I was 25.
Take away
Yep.
10. I gotta mess with you. I gotta take away 10. I gotta mess with you. I gotta mess with you, Rashad.
But yeah, so
And
yeah, man,
Hefe.
so
Hold on one second, Rashad. Hefe, if you want to come, we are talking about Paul Pierce, ex-basketball player, saying marriage is for poor and old people. Marriage offers no advantage for a man. Actually, I think you might agree with this topic. Not agree. I think you might disagree because, Hefe, I know you're married, you got kids, and you always talk about signing a prenup. But, yeah. Okay, here you come, Hefe. I want to hear Hefe's take because I love when you and him talk because you guys usually have opposites of opinion. So I can't wait to see what his take is on this today. Hefe, what's going on?
Engaged, not married yet. Engaged.
Engaged, I'm sorry. So what is your take on this? I want you to hear what Paul Pierce had to
It's
say
all about. Let me see what marriage is.
first before you give your opinion. And you know Rashad, right, Hefe? We've been on this
baby?
before.
How you doing, brother?
man, I ain't never seen your face, man.
I know, he always hiding it.
Yeah, I was just like, he got his face on. You over there eating applesauce? Man, what's going on?
Mashed potatoes, man. What's going on, brother? I'm good. I'm good.
All right, Hefe, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Let me say what marriage is and who's marriage for. Marriage is for old people and poor people.
Okay, so let's get into that. Why?
Because when you broke, our parents, like my moms and all them, they married on a merit of like, okay, we're gonna put our incomes together, have all these kids, and then when our kids, we're gonna have 5, 10 kids back in the 60s, all them, they're gonna have 5, 10 kids so they can work and bring income.
Yeah.
So you poor. So you married for that.
Okay, this is the
So
second
you
part, Hefe.
married for that. And now when you get old, somebody got to be by your side to take care of you. Right now, my mom got married. My mom never been married in my lifetime. She got married when she was 70.
Wow.
It was perfect. She had somebody by her side the whole way through.
So do you?
I really believe that. Like that's what. Like outside of that, it's no advantage to a man. Why is marriage an advantage? What advantage? What does it do for a man when things go south? Like we gonna have to give up half our this, pay child support, pay. But what do the
And can I just add this? Because women are now giving up half too. It ain't just the men no more. Okay, because I keep up with this stuff because I have no choice. But the bachelorette girl, the little black bachelorette girl, she just got divorced from that YT boy. And she got to give up half of her loot to him now. So it's happening all around. But go ahead, Hefe. How do you feel? Go.
They call it equality.
You call it what?
Equality.
Whatever.
I don't think it's happening enough to mention, though. Meaning, like, it's not like it's a 50-50 split now. It might be still 98 to 2%, But, so what are we at? Our thoughts on it?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on what he just had to say? Is it for poor and old people? And do you feel, because you're engaged, so clearly you see an advantage.
I see. Well, it depends on how you view marriage. I think if you're looking at it from a worldly perspective, then he's gonna look at how it benefits him and how it affects him from a worldly perspective, right? But I believe marriage is for like religious reasons. That's the only reason why you would get married, and there's a whole nother list of reasons, the benefits of that comes under the religious perspective. From a worldly perspective, yeah, I would say I would agree, but that's not why I got married, because I would never have gotten married.
Hold on, Hefe.
if
Hold
it
on one
wasn't
second.
for that.
Got a break. Hold on one second.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you want to check out Keisha Cole, The Wait Is 20 Anniversary Tour, make sure you hit up 987kiss.com right now for your chance to enter to win. It's 987 Kiss. All right.
7 Kiss.
Yeah, I got to be on my radio.
I ain't mad at you. But no, I would never got. I would have never proposed or did anything like that if it wasn't
Beneficial.
religious beliefs. Nah, it was only for religious beliefs.
So you don't feel like marriage is beneficial then?
I think that it can. I think from the perspective that he was speaking from, I understand where he is saying how it wouldn't benefit him, being that he's wealthy, right? And being that we live in a very transactional world, so he can buy everything, right? He can buy a woman for a small period of time. He can buy, services, cleaning, cooking, somebody take care of him, all that type of stuff. So yeah, from his perspective, there's a lot. If he's only looking at it, the benefits from the worldly perspective, then I can understand why it wouldn't benefit him. It would be just all risk. All he would be doing is signing up to give away his stuff if it doesn't work out.
Let me ask you a question, F.A. If religion did not play a part in your decision, would you do it? Would you get married?
No.
And why?
Because why would I get married?
Okay.
Why would I? What would be the reason to do it?
All right. So once again, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want your legacy to be?
I made money. I gave my character, how I carried myself, and how what I produced in this world, and how I was seen, and how I remembered, more or less.
Okay, how you remember? Okay, so you don't have desires to be remembered as a man who loved his family. And when I say family, okay. And so, in your description of the family, would you prefer to be remembered as a family man that was able to hold a family together, or would you like for your remembrance of a family man to just be about what your kids thought about you, no matter how many baby mamas you had?
If I wasn't looking at it from a religious perspective, then I wouldn't care. No, I wouldn't care about keeping a quote unquote family. Because what is a family, right? What are we talking? Intimate family or like extended family? Is a baby mama my family? You know what I mean? I would argue that she's not my family.
Yeah, so once again, like I said, it depends on what your thoughts are about that. Right?
I see you, Mama. I got your comment.
Family. Now, even if it's religious or not, my perception of family is that I want all of my children to be raised by one woman and all of us to be able to live under the same household. That is a desire for me, regardless if I believe in Jesus or not.
Wow.
I never saw that coming up. Okay. And so because I never saw that coming up, that was something that I wanted to attain and achieve, right? Oh. And so that is something that everybody can't do. So that's an accomplishment for me, because no matter how much money you got, no matter how much money you give back to the community, everybody can't hold a family together. And in my opinion, it takes a real man to be able to hold a family together. So when I say a real man, that means that you have to understand the appropriate amount of sacrifice and selflessness in order to be able to, on a day-to-day basis, go into that willingly, knowing that there's so much other stuff out there that can distract you and pull away from you and make things easier, right? And so when I say it, what do I want my legacy to be? To be what do I want to be remembered for? I'm gonna be remembered in the community. I'm gonna be remembered, as a great voice, of the areas that I'm from. But the most important thing for me is to be able to say that I have 3 kids that I raised that were able to see me love them and to see me love their mom in a way that you don't see in the world. So specifically, that's me. I believe that when you go into marriage and you do it, regardless if it's religious or not, if you go into it with the understanding that it is harder to be a family man than it is to do anything else out there, that's the challenge that I'm accepting. That's the challenge that I want to be able to go. And when people talk about me at my funeral, what they're going to say is, I see him and his kids. Their kids are going to continue to sing my praises to the point that their children are going to still know me. I want to live forever. The way that I live forever is through the eyes of my children and their children and their children after that. So specifically, that is how I feel as though, yeah, and I don't see another way to make that happen outside of, being in that type of relationship, unless I just have, $1 billion and I give to all these different institutions and I got names on buildings and stuff.
Right.
That's another way to do it. But like I said, as I build, I'll possibly get there as well. But as I build, I know this is something that I have a little bit more control over. So specifically, that's my thing.
Hefe, I'm a little worried though that you only want to get married because of religion.
For me?
Yes, because
Why would that worry you? Marriage is only for religion.
No, not about only.
I would think you would want to get married because you, like Mama said, the reason is because you love the person and you want them to be in your life for forever.
All those things are relative, right? All of those things are the reason why people always fail in relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't get in relationships for. But I would ask her, what is love?
Mama, he wants to know what love is. And Mama said, so what does it mean when someone tells you you're a good distraction to them? Is it an insult?
In what context?
Okay.
What are we talking about?
Mama asked that question.
Excuse me.
Yeah, she asked that question, so I'm gonna have to let her circle.
I kind of agree with my brother.
Perez said it's right. Religion removes morals. Perez said, who would care about people? Who would care what people thought of you? Don't even care what God thinks. Well, I mean,
you don't even. I don't agree with him. I thought you said if you. I thought he said if you don't care what God thinks. So I just think that marriage is one. I would be completely opposite of him. If I wouldn't want to, not gonna say completely, because good and bad is relative, but I would want to be a decent person, right? Whatever that means, right? But if it wasn't for religious reasons, oh man, I would want to live in flesh. I would want to I want to live like Future. I want to
So why not? Hefe, that's why I'm worried. That's why I'm worried about you in this marriage, because
I'm not talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's why I'm worried about you getting in this marriage. Are you going to be happy in the marriage? Is the question.
Happy. Well, it depends on what is your source of happiness. So how you define happy?
Why? And Prince said it is if he meant if in his comment.
I'm with you there. Because that's what when I'm listening to him and he answered the question from a perspective. See, my definition of marriage is completely different from yours. So, going into it, I don't process it the way you do. Not you per se, but the way he was explaining.
You think of it as a business arrangement.
No. I look at it as a commitment that two people make before the God.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Okay.
So, all of the other reasons you get married are like secondary. You know what I mean? Happiness and shit like that. That's why I don't. Yes, you want to be happy, right? But that comes and goes. You know what I'm saying?
But you said if you could, you would live your life like Future.
No. I said that right. If I remove religion.
Oh, okay.
He answered the question. He said, without religion, this is why I would want to get married.
Okay.
They said if it wasn't for religion, I would not want to get married at all, and I would live like Future. I would live in the flesh. I would do whatever my heart desired.
But is that not in your moment? But is that not in your spirit to do now, though, Hefe? I'm just saying.
No, it is.
Okay.
It is. So my heart is in my belief.
But I guess I'm a little confused, is because if that is what you really want to do, then Why put yourself in that situation? And I get you want to be
No,
obedient.
I didn't say that's what I really. No. I didn't say that's what I really want to do. I said that if I wasn't if my heart wasn't in my belief system, then I would want to live in the flesh, meaning like living my desires. Right?
But you're good going into your marriage like now.
I wouldn't do it.
Okay. I'm just making sure
Okay.
because I'm like, guys, come on now.
I know I like these questions because I think that it's good for people to understand that I want to kill this narrative of like, I think it's too many women. In the conversation when they introduce too much about like things like happiness and stuff like that, because this is why they don't last, because there is nothing that is going to stay happy, or they say I'm not happy anymore, and that wasn't the point for you to be married if it was supposed to be the source of your happiness. You see what I'm saying? Or if you would leave because you're not happy anymore. See, those are not valid reasons for you. Well, I thought you should have never got married in the first place. That's why I don't agree with those terms, because you will eventually divorce. That's why everybody divorces, because they think that it's supposed to be a constant dopamine rush.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to feel good.
Yeah.
Supposed to be happy and da 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 da. No, you're not gonna be happy. No, you're supposed to get married because it's a commitment, it's a duty, it's a responsibility. You get married to have a family. You're supposed to get married to have children, to start a family, and so on and so forth. Not to be happy. Like, that's a part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That comes and goes, but it should not be the center point.
Yeah, because you have your good days and you have your bad days.
100%. And what are you going to do? Break up when you're not happy no more? What did Michelle Obama say?
Oh, yeah. She's a good one.
Like that one part that she just said. I don't know. I don't want to quote her too much because I don't know a lot about it as far as
her podcast. I got you. What?
Right. But I like the part where she said, I've been married for 30 years and I was unhappy for 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was unhappy for 10. So when I hear women say, what about happiness and stuff? I hear a woman that's going to leave you. I just hear a woman that's going to leave you eventually. You know what I mean? Eventually, she's going to leave you.
Interesting. Mama said love is laying down your life for that person you don't want a life without. So where is the love? Sounds stellar. My boyfriend's giving you the fire emojis on Twitch. He's on Twitch. Yeah. Hey Swisher. Press said relationship is the love portion, but marriage is the commitment portion. You stay committed even if the love and happiness pauses or decreases. Yeah, because relationships have their peaks and valleys. Even before you get married, they have their peaks and their valleys. So I'm in agreement with you guys on that. But like I said, Swisher, I'm a little concerned though with you saying.
You're concerned because I want to hear your position. I want you to speak freely because I believe your opinion speaks for a lot of people and what they think when they hear stuff like this. So I want to kind of dive in.
I don't want to misquote you because you said if it was not for the religion aspect of marriage, you would not get married.
No, I believe that marriage is only for
the religious aspect.
Marriage was created under religion. It wasn't created under the world. It was only created under religion.
But some people would say that's European.
Say it again.
Some folks would be like, oh, well, that's European standards. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Okay, cool. And I would tell those people to do a little more history because the world started with, okay, there you go. And then you got some people that person may believe in evolution, right? He may believe we evolved from an ape, right? But if you believe that we evolved from two people, Adam and Eve, then there is no such thing as a European standard because marriage was first introduced with the first two people that was on this earth. So it depends on where does your beginning start. So if you believe that you evolved from an ape and then throughout time you became a human being that was intelligent miraculously, and then people ventured out to different parts of the earth and some lost their melanin, some gained melanin, some this and that, and so on and so forth, right? But where is your beginning? Do you believe that one day a bunch of different races, people existed, or do you believe one day one person, two people existed, and they built from that? So when I hear European standard, I would say that just because and I'm super pro-black, right? But just because we African doesn't mean that some of the customs that we've had in the past were godlike. That's all I'm gonna say. Just because they were doing it back in the day. We got Egyptians that believed in sphinxes and sun gods and all kind of stuff. And they gave us they're accredited for giving us math and all of this advanced what do you call it, intelligence, which
Yeah.
is great. That don't mean that they wasn't living in the way that they should, right?
Yeah.
Who they speak of Pharaoh. You know what I mean? So they talk about Egyptians.
So, Hefe, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Going into because you said it's not solely about
And let me
happiness.
tell everybody that's listening, I'm a stone cold nigga. I don't want to come over here talking like being misconstrued as a Bible thumper. I'm a work in progress. You see what I'm saying?
We all are.
And I am coming from a place where this would be very foreign to anybody that even was raised around me. You know
But
what I'm
you're
saying?
at least being honest about the situation.
Yeah.
You are like, yeah,
Yeah,
nah,
yeah.
I'm doing marriage because of the religious aspect, because that's what you believe.
Right.
But
I'm
if
doing marriage because I believe that's what it was. The only person that was purpose that it was originated for.
if you could, you would live your life like Future. Take away your.
I think if we all could, we would do whatever our heart desires.
So you do
Whatever our
agree.
heart desire in the moment. Everybody, good and bad is relative, but we will all do what we would want to do in the moment.
Rashad said you are stone cold. And Miss Janet said, I believe marriage is about love, not a commitment. That's why a lot of marriages don't last. Get in it for the wrong reasons. I do believe folks do get into marriage for the wrong reasons. Sometimes it be a lot of lusting, to go with.
What's love, though?
What is your definition of love, Hefe?
Man. Love originated from one person, or
And
one being.
Okay.
And it is, and love is just a lot of sacrifice. That's what love is.
Okay, Rashad.
Sacrifice, boy.
Let me see if I can bring Rashad back. He wants to come back. Hold on, F.A. I got to do this break in a second, so don't go anywhere. I'm trying to bring you back, Rashad. And I just want to tell the folks
you
who were not
married
on
for
here
that?
what we're talking about. So, Paul Pierce, ex-basketball player, Paul Pierce, is saying, I'm trying to pull you back in. Is saying marriage is for poor and old people. Marriage offers no advantage for a man. So you agree with this, F.A.? Do you? Yay, nay? And hold that thought. Hold that thought while you eating. Hold that thought. I'm trying to bring you back in, Rashad. Hold on. My Knicks are back at it tonight for round 2, the NBA playoffs, along with the Thunder and the Nuggets. We'll see who's going to get it done. Game 1, second round, NBA playoffs. Gotta love it. It's 98.7 Kiss, the best R&B. So, getting back to that part, and then Rashad, I'm trying to bring you back in. It's saying you're unable to join. I'm not 100% sure. So do you?
No, he's on his laptop. But go ahead.
So do you agree that because I've heard this from men before, saying that marriage offers no advantage. Take away your biblical. Take away your religion. Take away your religion.
Okay. Yeah. No, it don't. No, zero.
Okay, and why?
Not when women are for purchase.
You said, "Oh my God."
I
completely missed that. He said, "Not when women are for purchase."
No, they're not. We know her style. She going whoever bag bigger. We already know that. The NFL is proof of that. I told you that last time. The NFL is proof of that. You got a group of some of the most facially challenged men on earth.
Yeah.
Right? With some of the most beautiful women on the planet. We know that. We know that those women would not have dated those NFL players if they weren't in the financial status that they're on. So we know that women are for purchase. Women have really always been able to overlook looks if the money is right.
Well, you got a point. You got a point, though. You got a point, though. Rashad said marriage does offer an advantage. I don't know why, Rashad, this will not let me let you back in, but I'm trying, brother. It won't let me let you back in.
I know how much money you got. I know how much money you got. I know how much money you got.
I believe
you can have enough money where marriage don't have no benefit.
I mean, cause look at Neo. I hate to bring him up. Look at Neo. He ain't the best looking thing in the world. Almost looks like a teenage mutant ninja turtle, and he got 4 of them. He got 4 of them on his team.
And that's really easy to do. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That is so easy to do. When you want to, if you're a certain dude, you ain't got to be that rich. You can be like regular getting money. Like you can be just middle or upper middle class and have a gang of women. The guys that understand, they understand. It's not hard to have 2 or 3 women. And it's not hard if you're real, if you look the part and do well enough, you can be honest. You know
And
what I'm saying?
they'll go with it.
It's
Like,
just
oh,
a
okay.
lot of them is really going to really just kind of boil down to them usually not wanting one of the other ones to be above the other.
Right.
Like that's usually how they rationalize it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as long as I'm on the same level as the others, or at least as long as I feel like I'm above the others, maybe with it. Trust me.
And see, that's
I
why
can assure you that.
that's why women, that be our downfall, because whew, and that's
Money for
another
purchase.
topic for another day, because that really do be our
Yeah.
downfall when it comes, because we don't stick together. These men out here are sticking together all day, but us women, we are not. And that's why they are able to get away with what they get away with, because they know they can, because we allow it. Rashad said having a woman that you can trust to be the only one having sex with is a huge advantage. But once again, that's selfish.
I think you can trust. I think you can trust without getting married.
You could trust multiple?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that.
I hate.
It's the character of the woman.
I hate to say FA, because I talked about Neo a couple weeks ago, and Neo was like, all these women know what it is. No, they can't have other boyfriends or whatever.
100%.
He was like, but they committed exclusively to me. I said, like, hell, if you can do it, why I can't? But he's like, no, that's the arrangement. They say they're going to be with me exclusively.
You want to be a hoe?
Men can be hoes too, though.
100%. But I'm asking you, do you want to be a hoe?
No.
Not you per se. I'm asking
No,
you.
I understand what you're saying.
When
Yeah.
women say, like, well, if you can do it, why can't I? Well, because naturally women do not desire to sleep with multiple men. Most women, I could argue, don't like desire to sleep with multiple men if they like a particular man. So that because you can do it, why can't I do it? Doesn't necessarily apply because they don't desire to do it. That's why they don't do it.
But you're committing to a man that has 3 other women. I'm
So
sure.
you should argue. So what you should argue is you should argue to the women. Why would you want to agree to that arrangement? Not why agree to that arrangement and I want to be able to do the same thing you doing. That doesn't make sense because that's not what she wants to do.
Oh, well, I'm sure if they're remaining faithful to his ugly ass. I'm sorry.
Money, baby. Money, baby. Money.
Mr. Austin said 4 women and he got one of them pregnant. Watch. Is that fact or is that allegedly? Rashad said dudes would never be in a poly relationship with other dudes. Baby Brock said you can take the money out because that's what it is today. I agree with Paul. Back in the day, it was about love. Dollar bills rule today. Rashad said trust without being married. The only benefits the man. And Rashad said, man, I can't believe I can't bring you back on. I don't know what is going on. Like, yeah, once you click off Rashad, it'd be a wrap. It only lets you do one and done.
It was about love. I argue what is about love. I mean, I argue that in the past it was about love.
You don't think it was about love back in the day?
Not this idea of what we call love today.
But
you know what I mean?
Did you give your definition of love?
Well, to me, it's sacrifice.
I think you did.
Selflessness. And to me, it is caring and some of the fuzzy things like desire and a feeling and all those other stuff. But to me, ultimate love is sacrifice and selflessness and sacrifice and selflessness. Yeah, I would say those are the main things. Sacrifice and selflessness. That's love.
Okay. I mean, I agree with you. Along with some other things entangled up in there.
Along with some of the fuzzy stuff.
Yeah. Rashad said back in the day, love was different. It did seem like love was different back in the day. Like, they seemed like, they loved, it did seem like they loved each other.
It was about decisions. They were about feelings. They was about decisions. Meaning, like, grandpa and granddad was married for 60 years, not because they felt good all the time, and not because they liked their partner all the time. It's because they decided to stay committed to the commitment. The commitment was we was going to be together till death do us part. That was the commitment. And we was going to stay in that no matter how we felt in the moment. Right.
Right.
So if you think that back in the day, the difference is women back in the day did not marry to feel good all the time.
Right.
They wasn't trained that when you get or taught that when you get married, he's going to make you feel good all the time. No, they was taught raw. Like, nah, this dude he might not help around the house as much as you like. He might not be this. He might not be that. This is a man, and maybe he should work on those things. I'm not denying that. But they got a real raw depiction of what living with a man would be like for the rest of your life and why y'all should stay together, and not him constantly being your adrenaline rush. You know what I'm saying? Like constantly making you feel good.
Well, I don't know because back in the day, I'll give you an example of my grandfather. He was a Rolling Stone, okay? Wherever he laid his hat was his home.
No, man.
Yeah, back in
Mhm.
he cheated, but
Mhm.
I disagree with somewhat of what he's saying, Paul Pierce, is because when my grandfather got to a certain age, it was like he was trying to find that person because he was 70 plus. He got sick, so he was trying to find that person. So I don't know about
That's
finding,
what he said.
huh?
But that's what he said. He said marriage is for old people and poor people.
Well, he did.
Your
But no,
grandfather,
my grandmother and grandfather were married. They never got they never. They didn't
Okay.
get divorced back in. So he was, doing what he did. Because that's
Was he still with your grandmother? At 70?
towards like they lived together, but in separate rooms, if that makes sense.
Sure, yeah, so they together. So what were you saying that when you said that he was?
But
looking
eventually, they ended up going their separate ways, and then he was in his 70s plus, trying to date young girls, looking in all the wrong places, and these girls were using him for his money. So I don't know if that's
100%.
like the best idea to try to find love later in life, is what I'm saying.
I don't think he described it as love, though. He didn't describe marriage.
No, he
I
didn't.
hear anything about love. He said it's for poor people, which he's really trying to say for stability. Two people getting together because they can be more stable with two incomes, and old people for somebody to take care of him or her. And I ain't hear nothing about love.
I guess I threw that in there. Mama said they got a show about two couples who share partners in a world of selfish people. Ain't nobody doing that. That's disgusting. But they do it every day, and folks do it not even know. Baby Brock said it was about love before they let ninjas get dough. After that, it was all about self first. And Rashad said women married because they didn't have options. And he has a point because back in the day, I'm talking about way back in the day, like when they used to marry off the women for like property and cattle, and you don't remember those? You ain't never watched The Color Purple?
No, I think you're talking about something called something with a D. Something like that. I forgot.
Diary.
Diary, right?
Yeah.
And that's an African culture where they didn't marry off for a cattle or anything like that. That was the payment if you
Yes.
wanted to marry the
Yes.
woman.
Yes.
Not being traded for cattle.
I
or
felt
something
like,
that.
baby, I felt like their family was trading them chair. I felt like they were. I'm like, so you just gonna marry me off so you can get this property, you can get this cattle, and then I gotta go over here with Mister. I don't want to go with Mister.
I think it's really dangerous when we look at the world, at the past, through the eyes of today. Because we insert that because you would not have liked that today, that they did not like it then. And that's the power of women. I need y'all. When y'all look back to the women of yesterday, and y'all really describe them as the most weak, miserable women on the world. Like they was not happy. They were no, they were very happy. It was a different world and a different view and a different outlook and a different set of traditions and so on and so forth. They were not miserable people. You see what I'm saying? When you go back to that was how the world worked. They did not have a different idea of anything else. You can't miss something you never had, right?
That's true.
You know.
Very true. All right, let's do some final thoughts. This is a good. Thank you, FA, for jumping on. Sorry, Rashad, I couldn't get you back on. You don't want to go on Twitch, so I don't know. This would not happen if you was on Twitch.
I want to ask you this.
Yes.
What would be the concern what would be the concern you would have if a person was getting married only because of religious belief?
That you're only getting married for that reason and that reason alone, and you're not getting married for the other things that come with marriage. Because
know
I
that.
feel like eventually, because you married for those reasons, like how long is that going to keep you in that relationship?
Okay, I get what you're saying. I think the part that was missed is the way you saying it. It sounds like I went outside, I picked a woman that I met, and said I'm gonna marry you for religious reasons. Like I
Uh-uh.
didn't know the girl.
No, no, no.
Like, you know what I mean?
No, no, no.
Right.
No, no, no. That's not what I
So
was
the reason
saying.
why I picked her, I picked her for marriage because I did like get to know her and all those other things, and our values and our morals and our belief systems aligned. So I guess marriage is just this contract or this commitment to each other. That's all that it is. It don't got nothing to do with our relationship. It's just us agreeing to be together forever. That's what marriage is.
Okay. But what happened when, okay, your religion can't pull you back and you might get caught out, because the devil is very tempting. He'll give you the
Right,
things,
sure.
he'll give you the desires of your heart. So
believe that.
that's the part, I'm saying the devil's going to tempt you. He going to give you the desires of your heart, and I feel like, because you said, what is love,
Uh-huh.
are you getting married? Because you said you're getting married because of religion, but do you love this person?
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know, because I don't want you to, you're grown, so you're going to do what you want,
all those type of things.
but I just don't want you to walk in it like, okay, well, this is the reason why I'm getting married, and it's nothing else, because I'm like, damn, later on down the line, like, are you going to even be happy in that situation, is what I'm saying.
I think that based on your parameters, nobody would be able to accomplish that. But I think that your religion is the only thing that keep you together. I think that's what we differ, because happiness, it goes away. So when you say, is that going to keep you happy? I'm going to say, well, if that is what is the determining factor to keep y'all together, then all of y'all gonna fail, because all of y'all gonna be unhappy at some point, and some people gonna be even like a higher level of unhappy. That's intolerable. So I would argue that without religion, all of y'all gonna divorce.
But see, I would say yes, religion, one, but two, love got to be in there as well. Mama said marriage for religious reasons don't always work either. Now, I can neither confirm nor deny, because I don't know if that's the truth or not. But, I don't know. You got it.
I think that part. I'm sorry, I shouldn't cut you off.
No. If that's how you feel, and another 5 or 10 years and you still in there, I would say, hey, you won. Maybe I was wrong about the situation, and I didn't look. That's why I appreciate you, because you do give me a different perspective on how to look at things. Because I would have never got that from you, like, oh, this is the reason why I want to be married.
Again, I think before we leave, I think I want to make sure all the viewers and listeners understand my foundation and outlook on marriage is only from a religious perspective. A worldly perspective is just, to me, a boyfriend and girlfriend with a contract. That's all of y'all are doing. When you say you're married and you're not making a commitment to God, which was what you do during the marriage. This is why I don't understand how they separating God out the marriage. Because when you're making a vow and a commitment to God, so if you don't do that part, then what you're doing is just boyfriend and girlfriend and saying, I'm going to be with you contractually forever, which is going to be recognized through the state, and if we break up and yada yada yada, we'll divide up our assets, so on and so forth, right? So I'm not looking at it. I only look at marriage for marriage is only a religious thing. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't exist anything outside of that. To me, anything outside of that is just two people deciding they're gonna want to be together.
I got you. Mama said pastors be creeping with the ushers, and Janet said that's why I say having love, you can put up with a whole lot of stuff when you love a person, but going in for that reason, I don't know. All right, I gotta go, y'all, because I got to
go. But tell the pastor is not God. So make sure you understand. All of us. If you're looking into people, if you're looking at people as in examples of your choice of religion, then you're always
gonna fail.
None of us gonna be able to accomplish that. Go ahead.
All right, FA. All right, everybody. 12:15 Central, 1:15 Eastern. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you, FA. Thank you, Rashad.
Lovely.
All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye. All right, I gotta go. Gotta go. I got a break coming up. And I need my thing. And I don't know where I'm going. Hold on. I had it. There you go. Y'all can hang out with me a little bit longer. Baby. The best Army 98.7 Kiss, Dee Parker in your middays on this Cinco de Mayo Monday. Brrrah! Where we Cinco and de Mayo in at? I'm just saying. All right, chill. So Warren G is calling out Dr. Dre and Snoop for ghosting him ahead of the Super Bowl show. What Super Bowl show? Are you talking about that show that happened how many years ago, sir? Are we still talking about this? He said, I didn't care about performing. I just wanted to be around. And so did Dee Parker. And look where we at. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that we are still talking about a Super Bowl that happened how long ago? Okay then, Warren G, just give that thing up, chill. Okay, they didn't ghost you. Okay, they just didn't have you around like everybody else. I have more in the way. Keep it close. It's 98.7 Kiss, the best R&B.
You've got a clogged drain in your bathroom.
Why are my
Water in
phone
the
lines
sink's
down?
overstaying its welcome. You
All right, I'm done,
today's
y'all.
toothpaste on top
It was
of
real. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, Mr. Awesome, boyfriend, mama. Appreciate you. And Rashad would have answered your question, mama, but yeah, he wasn't on there. All right, love y'all for y'all. I'll talk to you later. Bye.